We're gonna have a good day, and all my homies gonna ride today.
That's right.
And all these mommies look fly today, and all we wanna do is get by today.
Well, welcome back everybody to Seniors on E for season 3. Yeah, we had a bit of a hiatus over the winter time, but we're back. The sun is shining, the trails are running mint, so time to bust out the camera and bring you guys along for the ride. Now, what better way to start off a new season than with a new bike? For those of you that know me, you know that I've searched far and wide to get a replacement for my Scott. Unfortunately, Scott aren't going to continue with the ransom, so we're not going to get a new one with the new smart Bosch system and bigger battery, which meant unfortunately I had to leave the brand. So what have I ended up with? The WHYTE e180 Works Edition. Now, the reason why I went with the Works is for me and my level of fitness and the style of riding I do, I can't get enough power. So the Works comes with the race motor, and I must admit it's pretty special. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you with all the details, because if you're interested in one, I can throw a link in and you can have a look at them. I have put about 200 k's on the bike since I've had it. I wanted to do a bit of riding on it before I had a review, so I could sort of talk a little bit more meaningfully about it. But what I want to do is just go through a couple of things today. Let's do some climbs. Let's try this race motor out on some climbs, because that's what everyone raves about. Ironically, I don't find it that's where it excels. I actually find it on the downhills, the tighter short transitions between cordons on downhills, that you really notice it. But anyway, let's jump along, go and have a ride, take a few clips, and yeah, make some comments on the way. Cool, come along. Alright, so for today, when I was planning my ride, I thought, what trails can I do? And if you want to do an upland rotorua, there's nothing more challenging than As You Do. Feared and hated by most steam bikes, and loved by most e-bikes. Well, that's not entirely true. I still struggle on it, but anyway, I'm going to come up here. Such an amazing day. I must admit, one thing I've noticed just while I was doing that little intro before, the number of e-bikes that have popped up in the forest this year. I'd say we must be getting close to 50-50 if you stay away from the shuttle routes between e-bikes and steam bikes. It's quite amazing and really good to see. I don't think I'll catch the guys that went in front of me, because we'll stop and do some camera shots on the way. But for those of you who know this trail, they know it's a long slog to the top with a couple of techie sections. I'm going to put it in race mode when we get to those, and see what this thing can do, eh? Right, I've switched to race mode for this little bit. It's quite techie, especially today. Just a little bit slippery, but the power, the instant power. And this is going to be the, see, I stop pedaling there, and it carries me over. Just a little kick on the cranks, you can hear me. It's just powering me up. How good is that? Done. Easy.
Now, I have no idea who these guys are, but I'd like to thank them for the footage that they provided me. I didn't even know I'd have captured them until I got home and reviewed it. But what that does demonstrate is actually how tricky this corner is, because in GoPro land everything looks flat and really easy. Now, this corner actually has some roots you've got to hop up, a few ruts you need to navigate, and it is actually quite steep and a real switchback turn that can give you some bother. So I'd like to thank these guys for giving us the demo.
Oh no.
Alright, that seemed to work perfect. Certainly makes a difference. Makes that techie stuff a lot more easy. I've dropped out now, just into her, we're just cruising. Oh, just about there. So back into her just for this top bit. No need to be in race for the whole thing. although that would be fun. But yeah, I've with the new smart system, I haven't adjusted it on the Flow app, but Taurus seems to feel like it's got a little bit more punch, but doesn't seem to use any more power than what my old one did. Interesting. Maybe it's just enthusiasm, placebo, because I got a new bike. But anyway, I'm enjoying it as it is, so can't complain. So I'm going to get a little controversial now. I find it quite interesting that you know, we went through a bit of a thing last year on the 2W around speed boxes, and the Karens complained because of the extra 15 pedal strokes that it gives you throughout the day was disadvantaging the guys who can't. What's going to happen if I rock up there on this race motor, or a Rocky Mountain, or another bike that has 120 Newton meters of torque? Are they going to be banned too? Do we need to run a formula class? We're not allowed to run bigger brakes, better suspension, mullet if the bike didn't come out factory with it. All arguably advantages, and in my opinion probably more so than what a speed box is. Kind of a slippery slope when you start doing that, in my opinion. But anyway, I said I wasn't going to do any more 2Ws, but part of me wants to go in and see what I can do on this race motor, see what happens. Anyway, let's head up and do some jumps. Right, here we go. Jumps nice. Rolling speed's a bit average though. Comes with Assegai's front and rear, which to be honest I'm not a fan of. Oh, so stable in the air. Oh, we'll take it. I'm sure that's getting blunt. Nice. Right, so we've established that it jumps okay. Certainly no problems there. Now what I'm going to do for entirely entertainment purposes, I'm going to do a run of Gunnagotta, because I've done it a few times. But I'm going to do it in turbo. And I'm going to use the notoriously inaccurate Strava, because I've got plenty of Strava data on this course because I've raced it a few times. So let's see if race makes a difference. So it's got this uphill, well, going downhill at the moment, but it has this bit of an uphill and obviously plenty of downhill. Conditions are slightly slippery today, but let's see if this race motor is an unfair advantage. I just got to hope that I don't fall off. Oh no, no real protection on today. I left it in the car, so I'll bear that in mind, and I'm on my own, so I won't go too crazy. Right, that's the climb taken care of pretty effortlessly. Oh, the pickup out of corners is insane. Oops, overcooked that a bit. Alright, pop, get some speed. Alright. Oops, took the wrong line there, but alright, could have come in there a little bit quicker. That's changed. Oh, so how's this? Right. It's a bit tight. Oh, this is where I find this motor excels. It can just little kick, oops, little kick on the cranks and you're away. Hardly, I did one rotation through there. Oh, why did I take this? I need to get off this line. Okay, not sure what that cost me. So fast. Alright, look at that. And we're away. It's insane. You really got to fight to stay with your handlebars. Right. Here we go. Slowing down a bit, I'm getting tired. But just about there. Dry. Done. Right. See what Strava gives me, eh? At the end. Right, I decided I'd ride and talk, so it's not a video of you staring at my ugly mug as I tell you bits and pieces about my bike. So it's been quite an eye-opener, this bike. It uses everything that is alien to me. So traditionally I've been Fox suspension, run a coil, run Magura brakes, and this bike is none of that. And I must admit, I'm pleasantly surprised. So I've got a set of factory 38s sitting in my garage that I had eyed up for this, and you know what, I'm going to sell them. This new Zeb with the Charger 3 and the Buttercups, I'm liking it a lot. I went into it and I thought, well, I'll just ride it, see how it goes, but I'm really a Fox man. Tell you what, I'm a convert now. Very easy to set up. It feels as good as my Fox, with just me fiddling knobs and playing around. I must admit, the RockShox app is really good and really accurate, to be honest. Really good starting point. Not running a coil, running the new Super Deluxe Air Shock, and again, pleasantly surprised. That one I haven't quite got dialed in yet, but not far off. Brakes, so SRAM code RS, they are RSCs, whatever they are. Again, very skeptical. They do have the new big rotors on them, the 220, the new ones, I believe they came out this year. I thought they were really grabby, certainly not the modulation of the Maguras, probably a little bit down on power, but they make up for that in that contact point setting. That is gold. So I've kind of decided, again, I was prepared to put my Maguras on these MT7s, and again I've decided not to. I'm going to stick with these. Why not? They're doing the job. What else do I like? The motor. So the motor has been fully encased inside the frame, and if you do any research on these bikes, you'll see that they've rotated the motor X amount of degrees to get the bigger battery in and bring the center of gravity closer towards you, and that's noticeable. That's not a sales gimmick or advertising gimmick. It's noticeable, definitely is. They're certainly not the lightest bike, by no means. Not a lot different to my Scott. I think less than a kilo in between them, but it certainly feels more nimble. Well, no, not more nimble, because it's longer and slacker. It feels more center of gravity, definitely. Yeah, it feels more balanced is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, so those are the good things. Things that I kind of scratch my head and wonder why. The charging port. Now my previous bike had it up high, up by the headset. Made sense. It's a vulnerable piece of electronics, and these ones I put it right down by the motor, but like the Bros. I couldn't think of a worse place to put it. Small niggle. The dropper post is only 150. I prefer to go 175, and that way I can slam it all the way down without it getting in the way. At the moment I have about 25mm, the seat's about 25mm higher than what I'd normally have it when it's down. The Bosch Smart System and Flow app, yeah, good. I'm not going to bother running the Kiox. I've got a Kiox on my Scott, but I'm not going to bother with it on this one. I don't think you need it. Then what else? The only niggle I've got with that is this little thing here. It goes orange if you're running your Flow app on your phone and it loses connection with your phone. It comes up as a minor error, which means that goes orange. It's easy enough to clear. You push this button here and it clears, but it's just annoying because I take my bag off, leave it on the side of the trail if I'm going to film or do a jump or whatever, and my bike goes in or gives me a warning. It doesn't affect the bike at all, it still performs the same, but you just got to push that button. The controller handle itself, to be honest, I'm struggling a little bit with these buttons. I find them quite small and quite fiddly, and when I'm riding along and I want to change modes, it's really hard to be that accurate. Whereas the older control system had much bigger buttons. Not the big Perion one, I didn't like that one at all, but the little remote one that went with the previous Kiox, the buttons were bigger, and that suited me. But those are about the only negatives, to be honest. I've just ridden this straight out of the box, which is what I wanted to do. The idea was right out of the box, see what I could live with, see what I couldn't, and change it over. And to be honest, probably apart from the seat dropper, getting a longer one, and unfortunately I can't put my Fox transfer one in here because they're a different seat tube size. That's about the only change I'd make, other than tyres. So having the Assegai front and rear is terrible for rolling, not the go at all, incredibly slow, way too slow for me, so I'll be changing tyres out. But yeah, that's about it. I'm pretty happy with it. It goes really well. And the race motor, in my opinion, is worth it. And look, it's grey. That's cool. Cool, just buy it because it's grey. Alright, let's go and try something else. All I can say is this thing is insanely fast and stable. Just jump that, easy, and hit this, easy. Just roll, just smash everything, make your own lines. Jump that. This is the true Send It bike. Super fast. Effortless to ride. Yeah, fully enjoying this, so pop it, jump that whole way and into this drop. jump this. Just so precise. Do the drops. And this drop, hook it in, power out. Oh, should have gone high. Too busy talking. How poppy is that? No worries. Just jump everything. Nice. Sneak down the inside here. If it's in your way, just jump it. There we go, we're out.